Sandra Smiechova.
Hi, I'm Chandler Caniglio.
And I'm Joanna De La Cruz.
As many of us are probably aware, Monsanto has a reputation. From media outlets to small communities, Monsanto is often negatively associated with its genetically modified seeds. But we believe that Monsanto is a lot more than that, and that through long-term philanthropy, we can communicate that message across the globe. This is how we envision Monsanto's integrated corporate philanthropy. Monsanto brings two crucial components to the table. The first, perhaps more obviously, is its drought resistance. Given Ghana's long-standing problems with droughts and their impact on crop yield, Monsanto can effectively address some of Ghana's most pressing agricultural needs. Second, we envision a shift in philanthropy to focus on Monsanto's crop analytics software. In the past 4 years, Monsanto has acquired precision planting, climate corporation, and FieldScript technologies, all with an eye towards the lucrative big data market. Through this, Monsanto can showcase the diversity of its business offerings and begin reshaping its image to steer away from genetically modified seeds. The second element of our vision is USAID. With USAID as our channel, Monsanto can more easily navigate the complexities of operating in a foreign and relatively new market. With USAID comes a widespread local and regional set of implementation partners to assist with on-the-ground operations. USAID also holds extensive knowledge of regulatory and community dynamics. The third and final part of our vision is opportunities for supply chain improvements. First, as I mentioned before, by focusing on Monsanto's crop analytics, there is significant opportunities for Ghanaian farmers to both reduce their crop inputs and increase ultimate yield. And second, there's also potential for Ghanaian farmers to be integrated into Monsanto's supply chain. As we discovered in a case study, Walmart, following their involvement in Bangladesh in helping rural farmers, ultimately sourced produce from some of the farmers they had helped in their time there. And second, we also discovered, based on a State Department study in 2012, that crop analytics software, even using one precision agricultural technology, can help farmers, specifically in soybean, increase their output by 16% and reduce inputs such as water by 50%. But now Chandler is going to take you through where Monsanto is at today.
Thanks, Priya. At the present moment, Monsanto faces many challenges regarding its global business. First, Monsanto's brand faces a global reputational crisis due to public perception of GMOs and Monsanto's stance based on GMO labeling laws. Second, Monsanto faces harsh barriers to entry in many of the world's markets, with 19 European countries already having banned the production and sale of genetically modified products. We know these challenges are daunting, but we think that Monsanto can directly solve these issues through the recommendations we are presenting to you today. Integrating corporate social responsibility into Monsanto's business model goes beyond its current philanthropic work. Rather than donating sporadically to charity projects, CSR offers a way to balance business and social value in the long term. As Priya mentioned, Monsanto has a lot to offer in terms of seeds and data analytics. Through CSR, the company can provide social benefits, including reducing food insecurity in Ghana, training local farmers to produce more crop yield, and thus ultimately increasing incomes for local and smallholder farmers in Ghana. At the same time, CSR produces real business value for Monsanto. We aim to increase Monsanto's global intangible value through reputation building, as well as gaining footholds in new and emerging markets, and lastly, testing new business innovations in a philanthropic setting. Next, Joanna will guide you through the details for Monsanto's new partnership with USAID.
So we are launching a new initiative with USAID. The Ghana Agricultural Technology Transfer, or GAT, is a project through USAID and Feed the Future, along with IFDC as our lead implementing partner and other on-the-ground organizations. The project aims to strengthen agricultural production systems as well as improve food security in northern Ghana by creating an agricultural technology mechanism with an emphasis on maize and corn crops. The key intervention areas that the program is trying to reach are creating a competitive Ghanaian seed market, as well as development and the use of soil management technologies and research and development. The goal of GAT is to reach 100,000 farmers over the course of 5 years. So we want to step into this existing program and expand it by increasing its scale to other regions of northern Ghana. The Monsanto Fund is going to contribute a donation to the project as well as provide our royalty-free, drought-resistant Monsanto seeds to be used by the farmers, as well as offer our crop analytics software to increase agricultural yields. Through our contributions, we're not only going to reach a larger number of people, but also as our flagship program, this project is going to pave the way for a continued relationship with USAID. By the end of it, we hope to be able to sign a memorandum of understanding to further solidify our partnership in the future. And now Sasha is going to talk us through the budget for this initiative.
Thank you. The GAT project has an anticipated budget of $22 million. By partnering with USAID, we will become the first contributors to the development of Ghana. This is an existing project we are joining. Also, we anticipate 6 months waiting period before we can come in. So we suggest allocating the budget for 2 years remaining. Assuming equal investments are made annually. Consequently, $8.8 million will remain at the time when we step in. Through the partnership, we expect focusing on 3 main components as was discussed before: capital funding, seeds and genomical segment, and agriculture productivity software. Our financial statements indicate that we have $21 million in qualifying distributions, and by rearranging this money, we will be able to finance the GAT project. In the short run, we have to provide technology, physical capacity, learning and education, and even seeds and supplies to Ghana. However, in the long term, we expect a huge increase in our social and business values. In this concern, we have Walmart as our role model. After their collaboration with the Bangladesh government in 2011, by providing training for rural smallholder farmers, their intangible value assets increased from $16 billion to $20 billion in 1 year, which is a significant increase. And now Chelsea will lead you through our action plan.
So the partnership launches with USAID February 2016. We're anticipating a 6-month processing time for the solidification of relationship. In 2017, $8.8 million will be allocated in a 2-year period, expanding the GAT project through corn, soybeans, and technologies. And in 2018, Monsanto will lead the revolution of agricultural, technological, and management practices in Ghana. Our expected impacts are in line with the CSR, social and business impacts. Now for the social impacts. 40,000 additional farmers will be included in the Monsanto's capital expansion. Secondly, more Ghanaian people will have an increase in income, which will overall increase the consumption of household goods. And thirdly, the crop analytics software will inform the agricultural practices in the region. And for the business impacts, there will be an increase in corn and soybean crops in the Ghanaian suppliers. Secondly, there will be innovative technologies and increases of overall reputable and intangible value. And lastly, the GAT project increases Monsanto's involvement in Africa and in the Ghanaian market.
By pursuing long-term CSR through a partnership with USAID, Monsanto is effectively positioned to strengthen farming communities in Ghana, begin reshaping its image, and generate business-wide impacts. And with that, we would love to hear any questions you might have for us today.
Thank you.
Have you identified, you talked about USAID as a strategic relationship, but you referenced local and regional implementation partners. Do you have any pre-identified?
Yes, actually. So our lead implementing partner is the IFDC, which is International Fertilization Development Center, and then SARI is another one, and there's multiple implementing partners that are already currently working on this project with USAID that with whom we would just continue this partnership on the ground and help them with their work.
And these are regional partners?
Yes. So they are the agencies that are on the ground in Ghana currently, with whom USAID and Feed the Future are working with to, yes, implement these projects.
Where will your software be delivered? The software that you're putting, is it with the local farmers or is it with the larger commercial farms?
So in the past, Monsanto's data analytics software has been used to benefit local farmers. For example, I mentioned Climate Corporation, which actually has something called the Climate Basic app, which is currently being used by 3 million smallholder farmers in India. So we anticipate that because the software only requires, for example, a cell phone and requires minimal literacy and is very easy to use, it can be distributed to the farmers themselves to help inform their day-to-day agricultural practices, such as learning about weather patterns, soil fertility, soil acidity, and things like that to help them maximize their crop output.
Do the majority of small Ghanaian farmers have access
Actually,
to
yes.
that technology?
So based on our research, which centered mostly on Ghana, Rwanda, and Kenya, we learned that while they do have a lack of data, such as weather stations and things like that, most people, even in rural areas, are equipped with cell phones, which is what makes Monsanto's software so uniquely positioned to provide another set of benefits, which currently does not exist.
What kind of training or education do the farmers have to go through to utilize this software?
So as I mentioned before, the training required to use the software is very minimal because it's used through the phone in an app service, and based on past usage, for example, it's used by almost 100,000 farmers in rural United States and 3 million rural farmers in India. There's very minimal training involved because the data is intuitive and something that that Monsanto will not have too much intensive work to inform them on app usage.
Given our current reputation globally, in I guess specifically in Ghana and in the United States, what, if any, problems do you anticipate in getting us to convince USAID that they should allow us to partner with them?
So of course, as we all know, GMOs are controversial. However, for example, we know that Monsanto's competitors, such as DuPont and Syngenta, are actually already pursuing partnerships with the USAID. So clearly, despite the controversial element there, it is a possibility to work with USAID. And second is, what makes this project exceptionally interesting is that Monsanto is uniquely positioned to take advantage of the crucial standpoint where Ghana is at right now. Because Ghana actually just last week prevented the passing of a bill that would effectively ban GMOs. So clearly there's a lot of room to increase goodwill towards Monsanto and kind of build a more GM-friendly atmosphere in that market.
We see this as the reason why Ghana, why this project is on Ghana, essentially. We believe that this is a window of opportunity in order to really shape the conversation around GMOs and around Monsanto, and really reestablish ourselves in the country and in the region, and yeah, just be part of that conversation and shape the image that we have and our products have.
What are some of the concerns that you would like to identify to us for you guys not to be able to meet the 3-year time frame that you have highlighted?
So as we discovered based on the USAID website and Feed the Future, implementation usually takes a window of about 6 months. And we also learned through our case study of Walmart that they had similar problems. However, the difference was Walmart hadn't anticipated that lag in time, but we are well aware that because of bureaucratic concerns and the different political climate of Ghana, there will definitely be a time frame required to get the ball moving.
Additionally, I think, as was highlighted in the Walmart case, USAID itself has been going through a transformation in terms of adjusting to working with private partners. I think especially when they started off working with Walmart, they weren't as used to working with private corporations so closely on their projects. And so since then, for example, they have that the person with that contact person with whom organizations or private companies can essentially work with as far as, is there anything that we can do to speed up any of the paperwork that needs to be done. And so even within USAID, I think that they've made a lot of progress, and we are also well aware of that. And again, I think we can learn from a lot of the lessons that Walmart and other companies have had in past projects and implement that into how we really smoothen communication in the future to, again, speed up the process and keep up with the timeline and not run into any hurdles as far as that goes.
All the countries you've named are English speaking or have people who speak English. What are the plans to reach French-speaking Africa or do things in native languages like Wolof or Swahili?
That's definitely a great concern, and this is why the partnership with USAID is so crucial. As we explained before, USAID, of course, is equipped with personnel that are familiar with working in a global context, and specifically the local and regional implementation partners such as IFDC and SARI are ones that already have a trusted relationship with the community, as well as capability to for cultural to cover any cultural issues such as language or other things that could affect, for example, Monsanto officials who may not have that experience. So that's why the partnership with USAID is such an important tool for Monsanto.
Additionally, I think it should be noted that the Monsanto Fund is actually already in a lot of African countries that are French-speaking and also not French-speaking. They have some, again, they're more pet projects, and with this initiative, we're trying to sort of expand it and make it more solidified long-term commitment rather than some of these small projects that the Monsanto Fund is already involved in Africa.
I will answer you in Swahili. Hakuna Matata. Good job.
Let's go back to your projections with the cost. Is 8.8 million one-time investment, or is this annual? And how long do you foresee this, and what's going to happen after 2 years?
As we said, we believe that they are doing annual investments of equal cost, which is 4.4 million. So this is why 8.8 million is the cost we count for this project, because this will be the remaining price. We can call it even price to cover all the expenses for the project in the remaining 2 years, 2017 and 2018, for this project to operate in Ghana. And also it can be done in cash and in kind donation. So it's not just cash that will be given to Ghanaian agriculture. It's the whole seeds, it's the price of seeds, of software, of training and educational measurements. So everything will be involved, and the total cost of it will be 8.8 million. And also we believe we can cover all these costs because we are the ones who joined the project and didn't start it. So all the previous expenses were on the USAID and Ghana. So basically we would count.
What happens in year 3? Is it revenue generating in some capacity, or do I have to put out another 8.8 in year 3?
When you say the end of year 3, do you mean at the end of 2018? Yeah. Or so the project has been established by USAID with their set timeline. So the project expires after 2018. However, if this pilot project is successful and this is something Monsanto sees a future to work with, it can pursue its partnership with USAID and even go as far as to write up an MOU and then extend the scope of the project.
Last quick question.
In the short time we have remaining, GAT's an existing program. What's USAID's what's the success of that today?
So they have already, again, they have started already to obviously implement some of these training programs. They have established some laboratories actually to develop some of these agricultural.
Better call time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.